This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Knick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin' is your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse my tardiness. I did not expect the Knicks to go into overtime, and then once they did go into overtime, my computer started acting real funny when I'm getting things set up. I'm ready to go. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the lateness, but I'm here now to talk about these Knicks who lose to the Los Angeles Clippers, 134-128 in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. And, can't even say once again the Knicks blow it because, they kind of did, kind of didn't. They were down double digits.
NBK, nothing.
Sorry about that. They were down double digits and managed to pull themselves back into the game and actually take a lead down the stretch of the fourth quarter. And Nicholas Batum ties the game up. I was all ready to come on and say, and excuse me for 1 second. Here we go. I was all ready to come on and say, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Brunson finally gets it done in the clutch. I was ready for it. And then Nicholas Batum happens. As the ball is bouncing around, Nicholas Batum, of all people, knocks down the three to tie the game and send it into overtime. And then in overtime, the New York Knicks just did not have it in them to pull this basketball game out, ladies and gentlemen. They just didn't have it there. You could point to turnovers. You can also point to the Knicks allowing the Los Angeles Clippers to have second chance points. And this is something that's plagued the Knicks the entire season, especially in the clutch. Especially in the clutch. Giving up offensive rebounds, not securing the defensive rebound. All season long, ladies and gentlemen, this has happened to the Knicks. They haven't been able to secure the defensive rebounds that they need to win the basketball game. And once again, it happens. The Los Angeles Clippers, ladies and gentlemen, they've been giving up big leads. They just gave up a big lead to the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Up 21 points and ended up losing the basketball game. And it looked like it was going that way tonight. But the Los Angeles Clippers pulled it out. They gave up a large lead to the Knicks. Looked like the Knicks were going to be able to pull it out, but it was a no-go. All-star Julius Randle got dunked on, ladies and gentlemen, by Norman Powell. A powerful dunk. Need I say any more about that? Julius Randle's been giving out those type of dunks a good portion of the season. But tonight, it was his turn to feel the thunder, ladies and gentlemen. And that he did. Norman Powell put one on his dome. And it was it was a good one. It was a good one, no doubt about it. But the Knicks couldn't pull this one out. 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists from Julius Randle. Shot 55% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. Jalen Brunson returned tonight, and he looked good. 41 points for Jalen Brunson, 7 assists, 73% from the field, 71% from the three-point line for Jalen Brunson. RJ Barrett, not really a good game for RJ. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Shot 28% from the field and 12.5% from the three-point line. He was 1 for 8 from the three-point line. And should I say, ladies and gentlemen, I heard a smattering or a bit of disgruntledness, I think, from the Garden crowd when R.J. Barrett missed one of those free throws. You know, I just heard a bit of a moan and a groan, and maybe it wasn't for R.J. Maybe it was just because, you know, the Knicks missed a free throw, but it seemed like there was a smattering of, you know, there was some groans in there, I felt like. You know, I don't know if it, you know, because R.J. had been missing shots, you know, throughout the fourth quarter and, you know, not just the fourth quarter, but obviously throughout the game. So I thought maybe I heard some moans and groans when he missed the free throw. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just telling you what I think I heard. All right? I'm not trying to, you know, say that the crowd is turning on RJ. I'm just telling you what I think I heard, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest lead by the Los Angeles Clippers, 17. The biggest lead by the Knicks was 3, and that wasn't until the fourth quarter, the end of the fourth quarter at that, where it looked like the Knicks were getting ready to steal it from the Los Angeles Clippers. Steal it. Defensive rebounding, allowing teams second chance points, man. Let me see. The Knicks tonight, the Los Angeles Clippers had 9 offensive rebounds, but I'm going to tell you, it felt like more than that down the stretch. It really did. You know, the Knicks had 36 defensive rebounds, 46 rebounds overall, 46 rebounds overall for the Los Angeles Clippers. But when it mattered, the Clippers came up with big rebounds. That's what really counts. When it mattered, the Clippers came up with the rebounds they needed basically to tie the basketball game. Swing it around and let Nicholas Batum knock down a 3. And then Batum continued his tirade into overtime. Right? Gets a block on R.J. Barrett. Excuse my video here. Get that fixed for you. Get a block on R.J. Barrett. He had, you know, a couple of free throws, or at least one free throw, I think, in that overtime. Who would have thunk it, ladies and gentlemen? Nicholas Batum. And I think it was was it French night or something like that at the Garden? And Nicholas Batum comes up with the big plays to lead the Los Angeles Clippers to a win over the Knicks. And yes, the Knicks needed to get this one. I felt like the Knicks needed to get this. They play the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow, an Atlantic Division rival. That's going to be a tough game. The Knicks needed to pull out a win versus the Clippers tonight. They had it in their hands. They could not secure the rebounds. 30 assists for the Knicks tonight, 24 for the Clippers. 8 steals for the Clippers, 6 for the Knicks. 4 blocks for the Clippers, 3 for the Knicks. 13 turnovers for the Clippers, 10 for the Knicks. A lot of those turnovers came in overtime. The Knicks shot well from the field, 47.9% from the field, 45% from the three-point line, but so did the Clippers. 47.8% from the field, 43% from the three-point line. They were hot from 3 early. 44 points in the paint for the Knicks, 42 for the Clippers. 18 second chance points for the Clippers. A lot of them came when it counted. Only 15 for the Knicks, 12 fast break points for the Clippers, and 5 for the New York Knicks. Tough one to give away, ladies and gentlemen. When you get performances like you got from Jalen Brunson, 41 points, right, on his return, right? Jalen Brunson returned tonight after being out for sickness. You don't want to waste those kind of performances. You want to win on those nights. You know, those are the nights you're supposed to get a win. You know what I mean? You know, Jalen Brunson was already snubbed from the All-Star game. Get a win for him. Get a win for him. Once again, the Knicks, man, you know, I keep talking about it, and I know Uncle Fulio doesn't want to believe me. Rebuild NYK said proud the Knicks team that they fought back. I get it. I get it. I'm over moral victories with the team, though. I think the team is good enough to win basketball games, and we don't need moral victories to feel good about ourselves, in my opinion. That's just how I see that. But again, I don't feel like this team. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Every time they shoot the ball, they gave up 134 points tonight, albeit in overtime. 134 points. They scored 128. 128 points should be enough to win you a basketball game. But for some reason, the Knicks cannot, or rarely do they have efficient offense and lockdown defense at the same time. I don't know why this team can't do it. Now, I keep saying that they're a grind-out team. I believe it in my heart. This is a grind-out type of team. And it just feels like every time they have, a high number of assists and they shoot really efficiently from the field and they don't really grind, it's not a grind-out type of a game, it's hard for them to come up with victories, and they give up a lot of points. For some reason, it doesn't seem as though they can do both at the same time. Doesn't seem like they can. Brooklyn Butch said, nothing matters as long as we have Tibbs as a coach. He's not the guy. He can't coach or come up with any solid game plan in crunch time. I just have to, listen, there was one game plan down the stretch of this game. Get the defensive rebound. The Knicks get the defensive rebound. I mean, they came back. They took a 3-point lead on the back of Jalen Brunson, no doubt about it. If you get the defensive rebound, you do not allow the Clippers to get a second chance, to get another shot, the Knicks win the basketball game by 3. David L. said, hard to look like a great defender on Kawhi or PG-13. Wow, no credit to those guys. Think they are washed or some nonsense. No, I don't think, and I don't know if you're talking to me, but I don't think that they're washed, either one of those two guys. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's going to be tough to defend those guys. You know what I mean? You heard Clyde say, you got to push Kawhi to the left. He wants to go right. Well, that's a lot easier said than done. Right? So obviously, those two guys are good basketball players, right? All-star caliber basketball players. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy to stop those guys. Right? Tough love. Rebound equals a win. My point's exactly. Rebound in basketball, you get a win tonight. You know what I mean? And we've seen this happen several times with the Knicks this season. Not being able to grab rebounds that matter down the stretch. You can grab all the rebounds that you want. All the rebounds that you want throughout the game. But if you don't get the ones that matter, then nothing else really matters, to be honest with you. If you don't get the ones that you need to win the game, if you don't get the ones that you need, to get a defensive stop, then nothing's going to matter because you're allowing second, third, and fourth chances for your opponent. Smooth will. Time and time again. Too many turnovers down the stretch. I agree with you 100%. Right? The Knicks did a very good job taking care of the ball for most of the game, and then all of a sudden down the stretch or in overtime, they start turning the basketball over. Right? They start turning the basketball over. Silly plays, passing the ball within a crowd of people, overpassing sometimes. Hartenstein to Randall. Randall, I think, to Hartenstein one time, overpassing. You know what I mean? And I understand there's probably been talk in the locker room amongst coaches and players that we've got to get more ball movement. right? Make the defense shift. Make the defense have to work. I dig it. But there comes a time when you're the best option. So we got 30 assists tonight, but we still don't come away with a victory. We got 30 assists and 128 points. We still don't come away with a victory. You know? Rebuild MYK said, iHeart is frustrating too. He's in position, but just not athletic or physical enough to impact the game. I agree. You know, especially defensively. I think iHeart had 11 rebounds tonight, if I'm not mistaken. You know, so he grabs boards. Right, Isaiah Hartenstein, 5 points and 11 rebounds. It's really on that defensive side that it's hard for him to have the impact that you're talking about. Right? Nobody on the team can have that type of impact. You know, we're talking about the impact that we're missing because of Mitchell Robinson. Right? Nobody has that kind of impact on his team. Not Jericho Sims, obviously not Isaiah Hartenstein. The Knicks have got to figure out a way to do it without Mitchell Robinson until Mitch comes back. They got to figure out a way to get the stops that they need to get. Right? They got to get the stops. They've got to obviously rebound the ball, grab offensive rebounds. Got to figure out how to do those things without Mitch because Mitch isn't going to be here. It's going to be a while before the Knicks get Mitch back. Right? It's going to be a little while before they get him back. So they got to figure out how to do those things now. You know what I mean? And sadly, there's just no other, there's no excuse. You can't just blame, say, oh, well, we don't have Mitch. We don't have Mitch. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Kevin Bergen said, watching iHeart reminds him of Enes Kanter. Yeah, I don't know if he had the same postgame that Kanter had or is the rebounder, but I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? I definitely get what you're saying. So now the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, dropped to 26-28, still behind the Miami Heat, of course, in the Eastern Conference. Now they play the Philadelphia 76ers, who was, they're 34-17 on the season. The Atlanta Hawks climb within a half a game of the Knicks for that 7th seed. All right, and the Knicks still have one of the toughest schedules remaining in the league, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be, this isn't going to be a cakewalk for the Knicks coming down the stretch of the season. Right? They're going to have to dig down deep to try to pull these wins out. They've got to dig down deep because they're playing a lot of tough competition, not much tougher than the Philadelphia 76ers, who are coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. Yeah. And I do want to apologize that I was not able to do the post-game show today. So I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I had a busy day of basketball. I had to scout a team that I could possibly play in the playoffs. Also had to go out and recruit, some players that I'd like to come play for my basketball team. So it was a busy day. And I wasn't able to get out there the way that I want to. But the Knicks, again, they play the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then on Tuesday night, they play the Orlando Magic. Then they're back. Well, they go to Philadelphia to play the Sixers on February the 10th. All right, so you have the 76ers, you have the Magic sandwiched in between two 76ers games. Right, and these are the last two times the Knicks will play the 76ers for the season. So far, they're split 1-1. These are important games for the Knicks. They really do need to pull out one of these wins versus the 76ers. Hopefully, they can pull out both of them. but they at least want to be tied. The Knicks are not doing well in the Atlantic Division, record-wise. The same way they're not doing well home-wise. Right? The Knicks are 3-7 in the division. They're 13-15 at home. They're 15-11 on the road, one of the better road teams in the NBA. Just wish that they could bring that type of energy to the Garden and win games in the Garden. I mean, personally, I find there shouldn't be an excuse. There shouldn't be an excuse, in my opinion, that, I mean, why can't you win at home? What's the issue? What's the problem? You're at home. It's supposed to be your comfort zone. You play on these basketball hoops every night. You play on the court every night. If there's dead spots in the court, you know where they are. Although at the Garden, that may not, I mean, it'll always be the same court, but, it's got to be put back together because they do different things there. But still, you should know it's your home court. Got to protect home court. The Knicks aren't doing a good job protecting home court. I can only hope that by the end of the season, they have a winning record at home. At least a bit of a winning record, Rebuild NYK said tomorrow could go really bad. Tonight's game was emotionally and physically taxing. It could. Let's hope that the Knicks, mentally, listen, no doubt about it. The game goes into overtime. RJ Barrett plays 43 minutes. Julius Randle plays 40 minutes. Jalen Brunson plays 38 minutes coming off of a sickness. Quentin Grimes, 38 minutes. Right? Isaiah Hartenstein played 31 minutes. So definitely, these guys need to go home, get their rest tonight, rest all day tomorrow, drink plenty of fluids, do whatever they need to do, ice baths, whatever they've got to do to make sure that they're ready and prepared for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, after the game tonight, maybe not after the game tonight, Tom Thibodeau probably tell them to go home and rest. But then tomorrow morning, shoot around, they're going to get whatever scouting report. They got to do whatever studies they got to do to prepare for tomorrow's game versus the Philadelphia 76ers. You know what I mean? It's a league where you got to turn those emotions on and off really, really quick. You got to do it quick. You don't have time to anguish over the loss. It's done. It's gone. You can't get it back. The only thing that you can really do is look at, okay, why did we not win this basketball game? They can point to grabbing those rebounds at the end of the game. They can point to turnovers. They can point to getting themselves into a large deficit. I think 17 points was the largest lead by the Los Angeles Clippers. They can point to all of those things and say, this is the reason why we lost. Now, how do we not do that against the Philadelphia 76ers? Right? How do we not do that? That's obviously going to be tough because they're one of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. And obviously, they've wavered for a while. At one point, they were a little bit lower. Now they're, playing really good basketball. 9-1 in their last 10 games, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia 76ers are on a 2-game win streak. 34-17, a half game behind the Milwaukee Bucks. 2 full games behind the Boston Celtics for first place. And they're currently 2.5 games above the Brooklyn Nets, who knows what's going to happen with the Brooklyn Nets now. Who knows what's going down with that squad? Kyrie, I wouldn't be surprised if, things, Kyrie, of course, said he wants to get traded from the Brooklyn Nets. I wouldn't be surprised if something came out, if this is just a ploy to try to get his money. You know what I'm saying? But the Brooklyn Nets, if Kyrie is actually traded by next week, then, and you know what? I haven't even checked the news, been able to check the news today. I've been doing so many other things. To know exactly what's going on. For all I know, the dude is traded. I doubt it. I would have seen something somewhere, I heard something, but somebody would have sent me a text. But with everything going on in Brooklyn, who knows where they're going to land in the Eastern Conference? You know, I mean, obviously they still have Kevin Durant. You know, so, you know, they still got a little bit of a squad and some guys that can ball over there. But, you know, we'll see where that lands, the Brooklyn Nets, by the end of next week. It's hard to say. I tell you what, I don't want, and please, you know, don't ask for it. Don't try to bring it up. And we're getting ready to listen to Tom Thibodeau in just a second. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's what we're about to do. But I don't want Kyrie on the Knicks. I know somewhere, somebody is going to say, let's go get Kyrie. Kyrie is a great basketball player. I don't want to deal with the antics, though. Can't do it. I don't want to deal with it. You know, this team seems to have decent chemistry. Right? Decent chemistry. And I don't want to mess that up. And that's exactly what Kyrie would do. I see someone in the chat say that the Los Angeles Clippers are front runners to get Kyrie Irving. Yeah. I wonder how many guys would be playing on that team. You know, between Paul George, Kyrie Irving, and Kawhi Leonard, you know, them guys would never be suited up in uniform. Anyway, we'll finish talking about some of that later. Let's listen to Tom Thibodeau, comment on Tom Thibodeau, and then we can get back to talking some more, you know, trade deadline stuff. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your coach, the coach of the New York Knicks, Mr. Tom Thibodeau.
When they tied the game there, were guys, you know, after the offensive rebound, were guys instructed to foul? Like,
well, we didn't. They were not. They didn't use a timeout, so you know, there wasn't a chance to get together. But we should have been aware. Yeah.
So you would have, like.
Well, you got a foul to give, you know, like, but there's time. So we knew, like, the thing is, don't give up the three. That was the big thing, and the initial part was good, but there was flow to the game because of their situation with the timeouts. So they're coming up, and the initial part was handled well. Then the ball shot, and Kawhi, I believe, tipped it, and there was a scramble, and then a kick out, and then a swing to the weak side. So.
Lose a game, have that come back in the fourth, you know, down 17 and then lose the game in overtime like that. We've had a lot of these home losses. I mean, how frustrating, you know, is a game like that? You
know, you hit on it. It's like it's a shame to lose the game because of the fight. And, you know, I thought the comeback was great. We were in position to win, and you're one rebound away from the win. So we got to come up with that. We got to put our bodies on people. You know, they're shooting it long. It's going to go long. You know, you got to get to people.
Are you more upset not getting that defensive rebound, or the fact that guys you didn't use that foul?
Well, the thing is, you can't use a foul if they're facing you. You know, like so, and they raced it up pretty good.
Right. I mean,
so yeah. So on the scramble, like if their back is to the basket, you know, but it was like a deflected ball. It wasn't. You know, like there was a scramble, a deflection, a recovery, and they quickly swung the ball. Now on a kick out, the guy's facing the basket, right? You know, that's where it gets dangerous. You know, like now if a guy gets into a shooting motion, you're giving him 3 fouls. But they were facing, swing. But the thing is, we should have been flying around and make them put it down. You know, if the back is to you, you're going to use the foul.
As you said, it's a tough loss, but how happy are you about the resiliency of the team to come
Well, the
back,
fight was good, you know, but like the thing is, it's the last play. It's, you know, that we got to come up with that. So, you know, and the thing is, we can't have a hangover. We just got to get ready for the next game. We got to learn from it and get better. You know, I thought we did a lot of good things, throughout that game. The fourth quarter, I thought our offense was very good throughout. The guys were unselfish. made good plays, 30 assists, shot a good percentage. And the one thing that probably hurt us some was, the fouls. If you can't whack down on these guys. You can't. And, some of them were tough calls. I thought, it's hard to define marginal, particularly with Paul George and Kawhi, So it is what it is.
Did you have an issue with some of the calls?
I don't, like I said, it's tough. Like, I thought Jalen got hit a lot, and, they're long and they're handsy, so I don't have a problem with physicality. It's just I want the game, I would like the game to be called consistently. That's my only, but I'm not putting it on them. We got to come up with that rebound. That's the bottom line.
Tom, you close with RJ instead of Quick. Any reason for that?
No, just, like the length that they had on the floor, and just that group, they're playing well. Yep.
He's kind of struggling again with his. I know he hit one late, but he started 0 for 7. A lot of them were open looks. What do you see with him with that shot?
Same thing. Like, guys are going to go through ups and downs. Like, as long as they're good shots, if you miss good shots, and you got to keep shooting. And if you're not shooting well, just do other things to help us win. Play great defense, make plays, get into the paint, spray the ball out. You could play well without shooting well. So it's not strictly. No one in this league shoots great for 82 games. There's ups and downs, and how you handle that is just you help your team in any way you can. That's the bottom line.
That's good. Jalen tonight, kind of maybe showed he should have been an all-star?
Yeah, the thing that I love about Jalen is, like, I think one of you guys asked it pregame, I just love the guy because he's thrilled for Julius, and I think and Julius obviously is very deserving, and he's helped the team be in this position. And I think the team gets recognized for being in the position we're in. But Jalen is he's happy for his teammates, and he's like thrilled about that, and he wants the team to do well. That's never about Jalen, and I love his humility. It's about, he comes out, he knows how good he is. He doesn't need other people to tell him. We all should be able to see it. In my eyes, it was pretty clear cut, but that's, maybe I'm biased. I don't know. I watch him every night, and I see the impact he has. But just move on, be ready. That doesn't matter. It doesn't affect him in any way.
All right,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your coach, Tom Thibodeau, on tonight's basketball game. And, I agree. You grab a rebound, you win the basketball game. Bottom line there. Grab the rebound, win the basketball game. I see someone in the chat, not exactly sure who it was. Oh, Vaughn Allen said, do I see Tom Thibodeau's disposition when we lose? Nah, tell me what his disposition is, man. I don't know what his disposition is. On some nights he looks a little more stressed than others when the Knicks lose. You know what I'm saying? He didn't seem as upset tonight as we've seen him in other losses. Me, I'm, pretty much upset anytime that I lose a basketball game. Finish with a rebound. Finish with a rebound. Finish with a rebound. I seen somebody say in the chat, and I also, Mr. Jalen Brunson, man, the guy is an all-star. I don't care if he was named an all-star or not. He is an all-star caliber basketball player. There's no two ways about it, in my opinion. He's an all-star caliber basketball player. Bottom line. He may not be named to the all-star team, but he gets it done like an all-star. As far as I'm concerned, the Knicks have 2 all-stars on this basketball team. And Jalen Brunson, if we secure a rebound, we play enough defense, Jalen Brunson leads us to a win Man, I was ready, so ready, and wanted to say Jalen Brunson finally brings us home in the clutch. Wasn't able to say it. I mean, of course, Jalen Brunson has hit big shot after big shot and big shot on his basketball team, but they haven't always led to, it wouldn't have been like tonight because he actually would have hit he made the game-winning pass for the Knicks to go up 1 and then hit the runner in the lane to put the Knicks up 3. You know what I mean? Mr. Carlos NYC said, let's go get KD. Just keep Brunson, Grimes, and quickly. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't support it, but I don't know. What do you got to give up? How much are you giving up? KD is KD. And I know I've said before that I would make the trade for him. You know what I mean? But, KD is KD. He's going to be in and out of the lineup. Is he going to be there when it counts? You know what I mean? Is his heart in it and to be there with the Knicks? All of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I kind of like, me personally, I would like to add somebody who's around the same age range as these guys. If the Knicks traded for KD, obviously I would understand and I would support him 100%. I don't know, man. I think there's a different move later on that gets the Knicks to where they want to go, that hopefully has a little bit more longevity. But KD is KD. KD is KD. But I just think the Knicks have a different plan altogether than going and getting a guy that's 30 whatever years old. Achilles is busted open, not working right, all that kind of stuff. Sitting out every other game, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if I'm interested in that, me personally. Now, if the Knicks can get in on any kind of a 3-team deal and bring back somebody else that they're looking for that bolsters the bench or whatever it is, or gives them a role player that they need, I'm all for it. I'm pretty sure, though, if the Nets came knocking, Leon Rose would listen. They came knocking about KD, Leon Rose would listen. There's no doubt about it. He'd be crazy not to. I just don't know. Because now you're giving up all your first-round draft picks, and I'm not saying, I know you're going to have to give up your first-round draft picks to get a player at some point, right? But when I give up those draft picks, I want someone that's 25, 26, 27 years old that we can rock with in our prime, in his prime. I'm not crazy about these 33-year-olds right now. I don't know. I'm talking about superstar. Obviously, you're going to have some guys in that age range who are role players and they've been around the league and they provide that experience. Those kind of veterans. I love that kind of veteran on this team to be your superstar. I just think the Knicks are on a different trajectory and have something else in mind. And that's where I would rather go with it. And I know I've said it something else before, but I guess I changed my mind. You know what I mean? I guess I've changed my mind. Rob Al said the Nets are not trading to the Knicks. The media confirmed it. Wishful thinking, JP. Wishful thinking the Knicks aren't getting KD. No, Kevin said, but they won't call us. Yeah, well, I mean, you would listen. If the situation were turned around and it was the Knicks, if I'm the Knicks, I'm not going to move either one of those guys to the Nets either. Right? Because, I mean, it would just be crazy. The way it would be crazy. The media would be nuts. Everyone would look at the Nets like they're crazy. They get mad ridicule over it. And then, you already know they trade them to the Knicks. Either one of those guys, I mean, it instantly doubles their. I mean, I don't know if you can double their stardom or not. I guess you can. But instantly, the media attention, like, nah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that within the same city. I wouldn't do it. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Michael Sharon said, the Knicks want a superstar and Kyrie is an available superstar. I dig it, 100%. He is. But let him be that superstar in Los Angeles or someplace. You know what I mean? Because it's just too much stuff around Kyrie all the time. And the Knicks get enough scrutiny. And then to purposely bring in more scrutiny, like negative scrutiny, and all the stuff that comes with Kyrie, I'm not feeling that at all. Trying to stay as far away from that as possible. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, listen. You know, everywhere he goes, the teams end up getting worse, basically. The Nets are playing good basketball this year. And in the middle of them playing good basketball, this is what you get. Right? You know, after everything that happened last year and all of that, the Nets are playing good basketball and bam, in the middle of the season, this is what you get. Why would it be any different if you came to the Knicks? It wouldn't. Something else somewhere would happen. And think about the amount of money that you've got to commit to Kyrie Irving for all of that baggage to come with it. Nah, because that's what this whole thing is about. Anyway, this entire thing is about his contract. I don't want the Knicks to have to deal with that. I mean, I don't want the Knicks to have to deal with that. So, Vaughn Allen, here you go. He's answering my question about Tom Thibodeau's disposition. Of course, he's upset. We all are talking about Tom Thibodeau. We never hear the jokes of kidding around in losses. Not saying he should be enthusiastic in losses, but I'm saying he is predictable in wins and in losses. I mean, I wouldn't want the joking or kidding around in losses, right? I mean, you know, in wins, you feel good afterwards, so you're going to joke a little bit, maybe. We lose, you know, stone face. Because if he came on and he was laughing and joking and jolly and all of that stuff, he would get scrutinized for that too. You know, he'd get scrutinized for that too. Ain't no two ways around it. You know what I mean? You know, it's tough to come on and for players, for coaches, for everybody. It's tough to come on after a loss and have to then, you know, talk to the reporters about the game. Nobody wants to. Nobody feels like it. You know what I mean? Kevin Bergen said, if I'm Leon, I'm calling the Nets, saying I can give you Cam Fournier and 2 picks. Then I'm laughing and hanging up the phone. Then I'm laughing and hanging up the phone. Yeah. I don't know. I think Kyrie will probably end up in Los Angeles with the Lakers, playing with LeBron James once again. I seen somebody say that the Lakers offered AD and whatever else for Kyrie Irving. You know, listen, I wouldn't put it past Kyrie Irving ending up in LA playing with LeBron and, you know, watching how that works. That'll probably crash and burn too. Anyway, man, it's just a few days away from the trade deadline, ladies and gentlemen. The trade deadline is on the 9th, next Thursday. And who knows, listen, you know, if you pay attention to rumors and stories, the Knicks have clearly been shopping around. If you pay attention to those rumors and stories, it sounds like the Knicks have been shopping around Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, et cetera, et cetera. And I do believe before long there's going to be a move made. There'll be a move made. Cam Reddish should be gone. Maybe Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, who knows? But I think the Knicks are trying to bring back. I read somewhere that the Knicks, had been discussing a trade for Malik Beasley, which included Fournier and Obi Toppin and, so on. So the Knicks are definitely trying. They have that wing position on the bench in mind. I think that's obvious. They have that in mind. And they're trying to find ways to bolster the bench and add to that wing spot. Now, if you trade Obi, who are you bringing in to play that fourth spot? Maybe Carmelo Anthony. I could see that happening. Tom Thibodeau really does like Carmelo Anthony. Leon Rose, it's one of his guys. Right, so you could probably see that happening. Hey, he hasn't played for the entire season. Knowing Melo, he's probably keeping himself in good enough shape. You know what I mean? So maybe you're getting for half a season you're getting a guy that's got some energy. You know what I mean? A Negro one said, never heard New York was ever a preferred choice for Kyrie. Even if it was, he ain't coming to New York. You know what I mean? Even if he was, he's not coming to New York. More people with the Knicks. But anyway, next week, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing a trade deadline special, probably on Wednesday. Wednesday during the afternoon, I'll be doing a trade deadline special. Just talk about, obviously if the Knicks do something, then, we'll be, we'll talk about that beforehand. But I'll do something on Wednesday. Tuesday night's going to be tough for me. Monday, on Monday, I got a game on Monday. Then Tuesday, I got some other things happening. So Wednesday night looks like it could be the night that I do it. And then Thursday, during the day, we'll talk about it some more. Obviously, the Knicks play on Thursday as well. Who will be playing in the Knicks uniform on that day? I know who's going to be playing in the Knicks uniform tomorrow versus the Philadelphia 76ers. That game is at 6 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So be ready for that. Anyway, I'm going to get up out of here. I know it's a short show, kind of a short show. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get up out of here. I need to get some rest. Like last night, I didn't go to sleep until 5:30 in the morning. So you can't even say last night. It was 5:30 in the morning. I had to be up at 8:30 so I could be at the gym, and open it up for basketball games and stuff like that. And then I went out doing my scouting thing and recruiting thing. So I'm kind of exhausted right now. I just want to get some rest so that I'll be fresh for the Knicks win over the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow. So I will be doing a game preview. Not exactly sure what time, but you'll get the notification. I do want to remind you that we have the tickets available for February the 24th versus the Knicks versus the Wizards in Washington, D.C. We'd love for you to come join us, ladies and gentlemen. There's a link in the description of the video. Please make sure that you check that out. All right, check that out, ladies and gentlemen. We'd love for you to be there with us. But I will see you tomorrow. I'm heading up out of here right now. I'll check you out tomorrow. Let's buckle in. We need the Knicks to get a win. I think we can do it. Philadelphia 76ers are tough. 9-1 over the last 10 games, ladies and gentlemen. Third in the Eastern Conference. 2 games out of first place in the Eastern Conference, and James Harden has a grudge. So, let's be ready for it. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Knick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.